Hello, children. Good morning. Let's continue this chapter, Indigo. I'm quite sure you must have liked this chapter because what we see here is the effective leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, the leadership qualities of Mahatma Gandhi. This chapter tells us about the leadership shown by Mahatma Gandhi to secure justice for the underprivileged and oppressed people through convincing argumentation and negotiation. So let's continue this chapter, Indigo, written by Louis Fisher. This settlement, the settlement. Now, what was going on? The landlords were thinking that Gandhi would demand full payment, but Gandhi demanded only 50%. When Gandhi demanded 50%, they thought that if they said 25%, Gandhi would not accept it because on 50% he was adamant. Therefore, they agreed for 25%, and immediately Gandhi also agreed, which was quite surprising for all these landlords who had taken from the peasants forcefully and fraudulently the compensation. Now here, when these planters had offered or these landlords had offered 25%, this settlement was adopted unanimously by the commission. So all had agreed to this settlement that the landlords would pay back how much? 25%. And Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige, with it part of their honor. They are obliged to surrender part of the money. They are obliged means they were now compelled to surrender the part of the money, but along with that, what? Honor. Because earlier nobody challenged them. Now they have to bow down a little bit. So this probably Gandhi was wanted to point out to the tenants. Therefore, as far as the peasants were concerned, the planters had behaved as lords above the law. Nobody can question them. But now they have to abide by the law because there was a settlement. They had to agree to that. And now, therefore, now the peasants saw that he had rights and he can defend those rights, and they were defenders. He learned courage. He realized that he can have rights, he can fight back, he can have courage. Events justified Gandhi's position. So whatever has happened after that, those events have justified Gandhi's this position. Within a few years, the British planters abandoned their estates. After a few years, what has happened? The British landlords, they abandoned, they left their estates, which reverted to the peasants. The peasants got back their land. Indigo sharecropping disappeared. With this, what has happened? The sharecropping, 15% of the entire harvest of indigo, which they were supposed to hand over to these British landlords, that disappeared. Think as you read. At first, we'll take up these questions because both these questions are dealing with what we have seen in the last passage. Why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? Now, at first, moneylenders expected that Gandhi would demand full payment. But Gandhiji demanded only 50% of the money that was taken by these landlords as compensation. So he demanded only 50%. But he was very adamant on 50%. Then the landlords offered only 25%. But Gandhiji immediately agreed to a settlement of 25%. So what is the reason for that? The landlords feared that Gandhi would demand repayment of all the money. He asked only for 50%. Then the planters offered to refund only 25% of the money. Gandhi agreed, and then he explains why did he agree. Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important because when they were surrendering the money, they were also surrendering their prestige. They were compelled to surrender part of the money as well as their prestige. And the landlords realized that till the time they were unchallenged, but somebody can challenge them. How did the episode change the plight of the peasants? This settlement changed the conditions of the peasants of Champaran. Previously, the landlords behaved as lords above the law. They were above the law. They need not obey the law. But now, they had to obey the law. They could exploit to whatever extent they wished. Now the 25th, now here, this agreement of 15% was over. The peasants realized that they can fight back. They have their own rights. And they got courage. They learned to have courage. And within a few years, the planters abandoned their estates. So the peasants got back their land. So now let's continue with this. Gandhi never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. Gandhiji was never satisfied only with political or economic solutions to the problems. He wanted to go beyond that. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages and wanted to do something about it immediately. So there was settlement. The economic solution was solved. The political solution, the Champaran episode had that. So there was no problem. But now he was looking something beyond that. The cultural upliftment, social upliftment of those people who were living there in Champaran. So Gandhi ji wanted to do something to remove the backwardness in the villages of Champaran. So for that, what does he do? He saw the cultural and social backwardness, and therefore he wanted to do something to remove it. And then he appealed for teachers. He requested the teachers. And who are those teachers? Mahadev Desai, Narari Parikh, two young men who had just joined Gandhi as disciples and later they have become very famous as freedom fighters. And their wives volunteered for the work. So Mahadev Desai, Narari Parikh, who were quite young at that time, who had joined Gandhiji as his disciple, now along with their wives, they were ready to do the work for the social upliftment of the villagers of Champaran. Several more came from Bombay, Pune and other distant parts of the land. So many other volunteers came forward from different parts of the country, from Bombay, from Pune, some of those which have been given there, and other distant parts of the our motherland, that's India. So other distant parts from remote areas, they all came and they started working there for the social upliftment of the villagers within Champaran region. Devdas, Gandhi's youngest son. And what is his name? Youngest son, Devdas. So here his youngest son arrived from the ashram for their help. And so did Mrs. Gandhi. And what is her name? Mrs. Gandhi, Kasturba. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages. Then Kasturba, Mahatma Gandhi's wife, she taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness, how one can be clean himself in order to keep one's body clean, what he should do. And then community sanitation, how in society, how in the community they can keep themselves as well as the community clean. So community sanitation. So they all were taught, the people were taught the rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. Health conditions of the people of Champaran were miserable. So health conditions were miserable. Whose health conditions were miserable? Health conditions of the people who were living there in Champaran were very poor. So they had very poor health. So they were quite weak, malnourished, and they suffered from so many diseases. So Gandhi got a doctor to volunteer his services for 6 months. So Gandhi requested a doctor to volunteer, and then there was a doctor who had volunteered to provide his medical services there free of cost for 6 months. And only 3 medicines were available. And what were those 3 medicines? Castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Only these 3 medicines were available. Anybody who showed a coated tongue, so anybody who showed a coated tongue was given a dose of castor oil. So whoever had any problem as far as their tongue was concerned, coated tongue was there, probably after fever, there's every possibility that one will have a coated tongue, and then they were given a dose of castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine plus castor oil. So quinine as well as castor oil. And then anybody with skin eruptions, spots, rashes on the skin, they received ointment plus castor oil. And now what is castor oil? Castor oil is oil made of castor seeds. Now Gandhi noticed the filthy state of women's clothes. Very dirty condition of women's clothes. So they were wearing very dirty saris. So when he found that it was a very bad condition of these clothes, he asked Kasturbai to talk to them about it. So he wanted to find out the reason why they were wearing very filthy saris, very dirty saris. One woman took Kasturbai into her hut and said, "Look, there's no box or cupboard here for clothes. The sari I am wearing is the only one I have." So what was their terrible condition? Just think over it. The only sari that this lady was wearing was the only one she was having. She did not have any other sari. And during his long stay in Champaran, see, during his long stay, he wanted to come over there only for a short period. For few days he wanted to be there. But almost a year he had stayed there in Champaran. Though he stayed in Champaran, he kept watch what was happening in the ashram. He sent regular instructions. He sent regular orders, regular commands, instructions. He went on sending regularly the instructions by mail and asked for financial accounts. So he was very meticulous. So he used to send letters of orders regarding financial matters. So he went on demanding all those financial accounts. Once he wrote to the residents that it was time to fill in the old latrine trenches. So the time was there now for them to fill all those old latrine trenches and dig new ones. Otherwise, the old ones would begin to smell bad. So he was very particular what was happening in the ashram, though he was there in Champaran. So he wrote even about those latrine trenches that probably they must have started smelling very bad because for a long time they must have been filled. So he kept the account of all. So it was not that he was concentrating on only one thing. It is not that only economic aspect or political aspect of a particular movement, but he also looked into social upliftment of all these people. Today, we have seen the leadership qualities of Mahatma Gandhi. It was not merely the economic solution or the political solution he was aiming at. It was the holistic development of the people. When he saw the cultural backwardness of the villages of Champaran region, what did he do? In order to uplift them socially, what were the steps taken up by Mahatma Gandhi so that they can come to the mainstream? They learn the important lessons of hygiene and cleanliness. So they were taught about all that. And Gandhiji saw that they are uplifted even socially. So what were the efforts that were made by Gandhiji in order to do that? So that is what we have studied today in the passages that we have read. So let us recapitulate whatever we have seen today. So social work or social upliftment of people in Champaran. Gandhi saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages. He wanted to do something in order to uplift them socially and culturally. Then he requested the volunteers, Mahadev Desai and Narari Parikh. These were the two young men who had joined Gandhi as disciples. They volunteered along with their wives. So even their wives also volunteered for this work, for the work of the social upliftment. Many more volunteers came from Bombay, Pune, and other remote areas of our country. Gandhiji's son Devdas also joined them. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages. Kasturba's wife taught lessons of cleanliness and sanitation to these villages. Thank you. Goodbye.